Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Rundown. I will be your host today, Craig DeLuz, coming at you from the West Coast, the left coast, behind the Iron Curtain, otherwise known as the Sierras. But as we all know, I do not do this program by myself.
Nope. My name is Mike Piwowarski. I come to you live from the East Coast. That's the coast with the most, from the co-host with the most. Here in the Rundown, two reviews, conservative news. Craig, how's your hump day going?
Hump day.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
It's hump day.
Hump day.
It's hump day.
Hump day.
That's right, folks. It is Hump Day. This is the day in which we attempt to begin the weekend. That's right. Looking to have a good time this particular weekend, and you know what, Mike? I think it's actually going to work. I think today my weekend is actually going to begin.
That's great to hear. I'm glad you got there. Mine has kind of worked in reverse this week. Today's kind of like when my weekend ended.
Oh, well,
Yeah,
sucks to be you.
I got to go to work. Got to go do some stuff.
Well, hey, it's good. You know what? The point is, folks, have good times when you can have good times. Enjoy, relax. I believe in the concept of work hard, play hard. So if you're going to work hard, make sure that you recreate the same way. Now, playing hard doesn't necessarily mean the same thing as it did 20 years ago, but I still believe, once again, make sure your recreation time, your relaxation time is done with the equal level of enthusiasm as the work that you do.
It's like a modern day Lowenbrow commercial you just did.
Modern day Lowenbrow. Do they still make Lowenbrow?
I don't know. But it was great. Remember, here's to tonight is kind of special. Lowenbrow.
That is so true. Wow. I think we're dating ourselves, but that's okay. That's all right. Look.
Somebody's got to date us. You know?
Somebody has to date us. I am not a person who is afraid of my age or expressing my age. I'm really not. I've just come to realize that I am officially get off my lawn guy.
Get off. Yeah. Yep. I may not be get off my lawn guy, but I'm going to stare out the window at you and make sure you fit right in the crosshairs. I know. You may not know, but I know.
And what else do you need but that little bit of comfort in and of yourself, right?
Yeah. I got a range card next to every window, and every once in a while you got to verify your distances. You know.
Hey, it's good training, right?
It is a good training. It's good training.
Hey, folks, however you are enjoying the show, do us a favor. Please remember, if you haven't already done so, please make sure to subscribe. Please make sure to like the program if you're watching us via social media, and share us with your friends. Let them know. There's tons of different ways, even if they're not on Facebook or on YouTube. There's tons of different ways to enjoy the program, whether it's on OpsLens, whether it's on Spotify. Both cases, you can actually watch us. We're on YouTube, we're on Facebook, we're on Rumble. You can also find us an audio version of this program that is available the hour after this program is available live. But the audio version you can get wherever you get your podcasts. So if you listen to iHeartRadio, you can find us there. Apple Podcasts, also the audio podcast is at Spotify, Google Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts, you can find us. So encourage your friends. Tell them this is the place to get your news, because we're talking about stuff. And we're talking about it in a way that most other folks aren't, in a way that the average person, can enjoy. How about that? Call it infotainment.
There you go. Just like that. Good description. Good
just description.
Like that. Informative yet entertaining. Entertaining yet informative. Whichever way you want to look at it. If you can't have fun, what's the point of being here, you know?
Exactly. And we have a range too. We can break things down, from an expert level when it comes to firearms and firearms policy or education policy or whatnot, or we can get down to the junior high school level of of comedic analysis. So we got range.
That's it. Yes. Lots of range, especially low range. Got a lot of low range.
lot of low range. You would be surprised at the stuff that we do not allow on the program.
Yeah. Lots of torque down here. Lots of torque.
Yeah, there's tons of stuff we do not allow on the program. We're a little clever. I don't allow on the program.
You should see the folder of not allowed stuff, folks. That could be a whole wall of memes right there for you.
It would. It most definitely, it most definitely would.
Yeah.
All right. So on that note, it's time to get into today's program. We'll start. Well, since we're talking about memes and jokes and whatnot, let's talk about the Biden presidency. It's one thing when we on the right, we conservatives or libertarians, or I don't know, people whose head is not buried in the sand, wholly acknowledge that this president is a failed president, that his presidency has, well, let's put it this way. He makes Jimmy Carter look like a good president. It's one thing when we acknowledge that, or when Fox News or one of the other conservative news sites acknowledge as much. But when the folks over at CNN, right, when they are acknowledging, when members of the Democratic Party, as well as the folks over at CNN, are acknowledging that, yeah, no, it's probably good that this guy not run again. That's right. There's a CNN poll, believe it or not, where 75% of Democratic voters want someone else other than Joe Biden to run for president in 2024. And the numbers are astounding at the number of people, Mike, who just are flat out just like, nah. And this is, by the way, not just Democrats, but Democrat-leaning voters. So these are Democrats and Democrat-leaning independents are basically saying, dude is done. And by the way, just to be clear, Mike, he has said he's planning on running for re-election.
Well, yeah, he says a lot of things, but he doesn't really know what he's talking about either. He still calls himself senator half the week. So, it's debatable whether he thinks he's running for re-election or election. He doesn't even know where he is half the time. Craig, I was over at a friend's house yesterday, and we were discussing politics. It's one of those friends where we have the good political talks, right? And we're talking about what had gone on or with President Trump, and we're talking insurrection. Insurrection. I'm sorry. Quote with air quotes here, folks. And all the things that people like and people don't like. And I said, listen, here's two things I need to know for a successful president. And I reached my hand in one pocket and pulled out the money clip, and reached my hand in the other pocket and pulled out the firearm. And people are doing this with Biden right now. Those supporters of Biden, whatever their gauges are for a successful presidency, 75% of them have realized, crap, we don't have them. Our gauges are reading, empty on the tank here. We need to move on. We really do.
Well, they're right. And on the issues that, like, for example, the decisions that were made by the Supreme Court on both the Second Amendment and on abortion, in many cases, they are frustrated because they're like, the president should do something about it. And like, they don't understand. The Supreme Court is a co-equal branch of government. No, he can't do something against the Supreme Court. People are mad that he can't get Congress, can't force Congress, in particular the Senate, to bend to his will. They're mad at him because of that, and then they're mad because he won't write executive orders, dictates, mandating whatever it is that they want. And what they fail to understand is that that's not how our government works. What they're calling for, what they want, is a left-wing dictatorship, a socialist dictatorship. And at the very least, he's not capable enough to, I don't know if he's not willing to deliver that. He's incapable of delivering that for them. And so therefore they're frustrated.
2 points from there before I forget. 2 points. I'm sorry. Well, one is listen, the Democrats, the Congress people that are Democrats, we know they've lost all integrity. We watch what's going on with the January 6th hearings. But today, they introduced a bill for term limits on Supreme Court justices because, they want to change the Constitution via legislation. It's just somebody needs to have them read the Constitution first. You can't pass a bill. You have to have a new constitutional amendment. But that's a different story. And then the first one was with Biden. There was something I wanted to tell you about Biden, and it's kind of slipped my mind. So, oh well.
You pulled a Biden?
It's probably an example of my Bidenism. Hold on.
Mike, what's funny is this number, the number of the 75%, it's up from 51%. January, February, when they conducted the same poll, it was 51% of Democrats and Democrat-leaning voters wanted someone other than the president. Now, it's increased, increased by 50%. By this time, by the end of the year, 100% of Democrat voters are going to want someone else running for
Well,
president in
if we
2024.
yes, I agree. It'll probably be 100%, but if we do the math right, it would be 87.5. But that's
Yes,
okay.
I agree. I agree. I'm just saying. I'm not saying. I'm just saying.
Yeah, yeah. It needs to be gone. It needs to be gone. It's horrible. This guy's he's an embarrassment. But you know,
But now tell me, do any of the people on your whether it's your social media feeds or people who you've talked to who are trashing Trump or pushing Biden back during the election, are any of them out there still defending him?
defending Biden?
Yes.
Well, I don't think anybody's ever defended Biden that I know.
Yeah.
That's no. I mean, there's a couple of, I got one or two that are still TDS sufferers that sprout up every now and then. It's like watching some hippies put their heads up and yell, "No nukes, no nukes!" Come on, dude.
Just like, no nukes, no nukes.
It's way old news. Come on to the present. But there's a couple out there. There's one in particular who's just an absolute Trump derangement sufferer and in the extreme. It's to the point where like sometimes it's funny to go there and watch and go like, let's see what crazy guy's done today.
Right. Well, Mike, and by the way, that leads us to our next story. The truth is that whether it's the mainstream media or whether it's the Democratic Party, what they're realizing now is going into the midterm elections, they have absolutely nothing of their own to run on. Everything that they've tried to do or introduce has failed. The economic quote unquote stimulus that they put together to help supposedly help boost the economy from COVID has now basically created massive inflation. Their energy policies that the president Biden has put in place, basically we're talking about the Keystone Pipeline, we're talking about not allowing drilling or ending leases or potential new leases on federal land. We're talking about reintroducing regulations on domestic drilling that has basically taken what would have otherwise been profitable ventures into oil exploration and turned them into unprofitable, and basically told the oil industry, yeah, no, we're going to try and put you out of business. And then they're wondering why they won't do new drilling. But anyway, all of these things have utterly failed. All of their policies have failed. And so they have nothing really to run on, except they've got one thing. And Mike, their one thing is basically to refer to, their one thing is to refer to Republicans as extremists. And that's all they really have. And it's kind of funny because even once again, we're going to go back to CNN. Even CNN is admitting that's all they got. Their campaign slogan for 2022 is Republicans are extremists. Now, Mike, please correct me, but Republicans have pretty much, on most issues, have been where we currently stand as Republicans for most of the time that I've been a Republican, almost all the time that I've been a Republican. How exactly did we become the extremists? Or what exactly makes us extremists?
We've done nothing, Craig. We are continuing to be the same. We've had the same policies for quite some time. We might have some vocal policies that we bring up when the Democrats come up with something ridiculous like there's 700 genders or something stupid like that. Other than that, our policies remain the same. What has changed is they continue to take over the words. They continue to take over the meaning of certain words, and extremists is one of them. An extremist used to be, the guy who was living in his basement with the explosives and rat poison and was going to take over the world. Now it's just somebody that believes in their beliefs makes you an extremist. You're unwilling to bend to our ways. You're unwilling to come around and see things the way we want you to see things. You're standing on your own principles. That now makes you an extremist. They have again redefined, they redefined the words. Craig, we've seen this in the Second Amendment business now for 30 years. They continue to redefine the words. They've just now, over the past 5-10 years or so, started to do that with the rest of politics, redefine words and put those labels on you.
Well, okay, so let's take a quick look at what makes us extremists. Let's see. We believe that the government shouldn't take from people what they've earned.
Same as
take
before.
a huge chunk of it for themselves and then give it to people who didn't earn it. That makes us
Right, same as
extremists.
before. That's our same belief as before. No change, right?
That we believe that you shouldn't be talking about sex and sexuality to kindergartners or elementary school kids. How about that one?
That's a reaction to their current policy, and
Right.
it's our same belief as before.
We believe that, I don't know, that we believe that, boys have penises and girls have vaginas, and that's science.
Our belief and Bill Clinton's belief from before. Yep.
Let's see. Just because you're white doesn't mean you're racist, and just because you're black doesn't mean that you're oppressed.
Same belief.
All right, I'm just, but these once again, these are our extreme views. What else? When people commit crimes, they ought to be held accountable, and being a criminal does not make you a victim.
Yeah, a protected class, right?
Right.
Same belief as before. Yeah, no
Okay,
no changes.
I'm looking on issue after issue, and all I see is we haven't changed. And all we've done is when they've come with these radical changes, right? These extremist radical changes. And that's really what they are, extremist radical changes. By the way, we also believe that, you should not be censored because you disagree.
Hold on, let me think. What's that called? That's called the First Amendment. That's
there you go.
That is. It's one of the main reasons when you read the Declaration of Independence that we had our little breakup letter with King George.
Right. There's nothing that they are talking about. What's funny is that the truth is they are the extremists, right? They're the ones who are promoting political violence, because as far as I know, most Republicans who look at January 6th are like this. They're saying, look, the people who destroyed property, who attacked police, they need to be held accountable. If that means jail time, then that also means jail time.
Yes, absolutely.
I don't know of a single Republican that does not believe that. But yet and still, I see tons of Democrats who refuse to even acknowledge that millions or billions of dollars worth of property was destroyed, that thousands of officers were injured, and then, by the way, dozens of people actually died, were killed during the George Floyd riots of 2020. And yet, we're the extremists. So if it's for your side, political violence is okay. If it's someone on our side conducting political violence, well, then that's an insurrection.
It's a double standard, Craig. It's
right.
It's exactly what it is. It's a double standard. We get a hypocritical attitude, double standard.
Right. Anyway, that's their campaign slogan, folks. And what's even funnier about it all is that the mainstream media has played a role in it. Like I said, I've said this before. It's amazing the number of people that I talk to who are I'll disagree with them. They're on the left, but they're reasonable, rational people. And what I've found is the information that they have, the stuff that they've been getting from the news has been so skewed that the truth is, it's like they're living in a different reality. And you have to inform them or provide them with links and information so that they can see what's happening in the real world.
Yes, sir. Yeah. It's amazing because, like we've talked about, 90% of the media is controlled now by that liberal left, and where you have to go now to just find your news before would have been considered an extreme place to go, right, Craig?
Right.
Why do I have to go looking for the other view and news here, as opposed to everybody just reports the facts rather than their opinions?
Right. No. And that's it's funny because there are people on the right who come down on Fox News and they say, oh, well, they're left wing, and undoubtedly they have some left wing folks who work for them. They also allow both perspectives in many of the opinion sections. They allow people on the right. They'll have Republicans and they'll have Democrats. But we on our side have the networks that only have conservative voices. And I'm not against going to conservative news sources, but here's the thing, folks. If you're not getting information from all sides, then you're not getting the entire picture. And it's important that we get the entire picture. I'm very conscious of the lens that the filter that I'm getting it from, but it's important that we pay attention and we get information from all sides, because how do we refute the other side's arguments if we don't even know what their arguments are?
There was an ad on television here in Florida. It was on last night. It was about abortion rights, Craig, and it was like one of those tear jerky supermarket or Coca-Cola commercials, right? Where you followed the path of a 14-year-old girl who had to move out of state now because she can't get an abortion in her own state to save her own life. And I'm like, could we try just getting a little bit of the facts correct here rather than your lies about your policies and what's going on? And they followed a couple stories just through like that. Like one was a woman who clearly had been receiving cancer treatments, but she had to move because she couldn't get an abortion to save her own life here in her state. I was like, it's just lies. And the Democrats are out there. Oh my God, I can't believe the Republicans are killing our women. Yeah, that's what we're doing.
Mike, and that takes us to our next story, because we see these sorts of ads, and these political ads are basically, many of them are nothing more than just flat out lies. And one company, one network, if you want to call it, streaming network Hulu, which also has does live broadcasting, much the same way that like YouTube now does. You can subscribe to YouTube TV and get your live channels. Well, Hulu is basically under fire, and there's a boycott that is being pushed because they refuse to run Democrat midterm ads on abortion rights and gun control. And I'm willing to bet you that is exactly the sort of ad that you were talking about right there. It's like, they're like, no, we're not going to be running these ads. And for the most part, they've gotten away from doing any of them, whether it's on the right or on the left. They've gotten away from running those sorts of ads. But it only became outrageous when Democrats started to do it. I mean, when they started refusing Democrat political ads. They've always, by the way, had bans on Republican ads like that.
Yeah. Yeah, now Hulu, again, Disney owns, so you think they'd want to be putting out the lefts, but for some reason Hulu is not. I think they must have a different COO or something running it over there. But Hulu is plenty of original programming. I watch them all the time. I watched them last night. A couple of TV shows that I watch on a weekly basis over there. It's good to see that they've gotten rid of all that kind of crap commercials that are in there. Now, again, legally, the way I would understand it, Craig, at least the way I would interpret it, they're not required to, because they're a pay-per-view service. So it's not public broadcasting television like the major networks, where if they air one side, they have to offer equal time to the opposite side. If Hulu wanted to, they could show nothing but one side because they're a pay-per-view service.
Well, I think they're according to their policy is they basically don't do any sort of quote unquote controversial ads. And because here's the thing, they once again, they're taking the Michael Jordan approach. Republicans watch TV too.
Yep, exactly.
And
right.
So their goal is, look, no, we're not going to get them. We're not going to allow you to get it. We're not going to get in the middle of this stuff. We're not going to have people tuning out to our service because they don't like the political ads that are being run. Once again, this is when you say controversial, think about what you said you saw in that ad, and think about the number of lies that were being portrayed in that particular ad. Not only was it controversial, but it's also controversial because there was misinformation in there.
Yeah,
why
would
you, as a company,
all the lies, all the misinformation? Yeah, it was
right.
That was the pivotal part. Yeah,
right. Why would you want that run? And it's granted, we know that Disney, who basically owns Hulu, we know that they are a left-wing company, but they've been reeling from the wokeness, and I think I think this is to a certain degree a test. Because they're going to find out, okay, what's this going to cost us by not allowing this sort of stuff on one of our services? Is it going to harm our numbers or not? And if it doesn't, if it actually helps, then you're probably going to start to see a corporate shift. Because in the end, woke policies aside, they're about making money. And when they start losing money, that's when the shareholders and that's when the leadership is going to start to say, okay, yeah, okay, we went woke, we started to go broke. It's time to end this madness.
Yeah, Disney needs to be careful. Maybe that's why nothing's going on too. Because listen, they tried to get into a little slap fight with Governor Ron DeSantis, and he came in and throat punched him. So they're on the ropes. Every day, at least it's in Florida, it's news of they're shutting this down, they're doing that, they don't have the staffing for this. Reedy Creek is bailing out, and because of the hurting the governor put on him here when they tried to play ball with him.
Well, there you go. You get what you get. You get what you get, and you don't throw a fit. Just stop it. Stop with the wokeness. I'm not saying you got to promote my perspective, but I am saying that I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear left-wing politics. I don't want politics in my entertainment. I really don't.
There you go.
I watch sports. I watch movies. I watch TV shows. I watch them for entertainment. If I want to be informed, then I'll turn on the news. I'll look for the news. I'll go to the news to get my information. If I want political commentary, I'll go there. But keep it out of my entertainment.
Yeah, exactly.
Just saying.
Yep.
All right. Mike, I'm gonna let you share this Florida man story.
What?
Yes. Space Force is under attack.
Go ahead and bring it up. This is this is the routine stuff that we get here in Florida. You have to understand that we have many type of people from Florida, and as my co-host on the radio show Earl says, just because this happened in Florida doesn't mean it's a Florida man. Earl is a Florida man and always tries to defend Florida man. So what we probably have here is, and I would bet, Craig, is this guy's probably from out of state and just ended up in Florida. Because if you look at the way Florida is shaped and how the jet stream is, all the crazies get sucked into Florida. So we end up with all the crazy people. And so this is probably some crazy dude that had it happen. Now, when you see something crazy happen out of state, that was just somebody on the way to Florida. So that's just how it works. So this crazy man, Florida man, he got himself a stolen truck and decided he was going over to the Space Force base, which is the old Patrick Air Force Base. It is now the Patrick Space Force Base. They have the Space Launch Lift Command and that all over there. And he decided he was going over there to warn them of the battle between the aliens and the dragons. And these were Chinese dragons too, not like space dragons. So it was aliens versus space dragons, which might be a new, like a number 7.
Sounds like a Marvel movie.
Yeah, right. Aliens versus Chinese dragons. Although we couldn't do it right now because it's Chinese dragons, and Chinese dragons are.
Hey, Captain Marvel and Shang-Chi.
That's it. There you go. You just make that up, Shang-Chi? Is that real? Is that not real?
No, there's actually a movie character. Yes, Shang-Chi. Very good Marvel movie.
Oh, okay. There was one where the character's name was Cece, and they asked why the character's name was Cece, and they said because they think her name was Ching Chong, but they weren't sure.
Oh, ouch.
And I was like, ow, damn. Now, that's an older movie. That's like, that's not current.
Yeah, that will get you sent to racial sensitivity training.
Yeah, they'll send you to the Wuhan. They'll send you the Wuhan virus from there if you do that. Yeah.
No. Let us be clear. It is the Chinese Wuhan Kung Fu bat flu.
That's it. The bat flu. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, it was Pigman Bear that came after them with the disease. Or Man Pig Bear. Man Bear Pig. Bear Pig. There it is.
Mm-hmm. Ozzy Osbourne, I think, was patient 0.
Yes. Yes, he was. Stay away from the bats, Ozzy. Stay away from the bats. So this is the common thing that happens. I actually know people that work over there, and they said, we couldn't get on off base for like 2 hours because they had stuff locked down until they realized that this was an absolute whack job, and listen, I'm hoping, Craig, this is what I'm hoping, that he was a whack job, and this wasn't like Will Smith dragging an alien back after he shot it down,
It was funny because when I read the story, that's exactly what I pictured. That is exactly what Will Smith from Independence Day dragging an alien to the base.
I'd like to come in, sir, you're not authorized. And he holds the guy up. All right, let him in.
It's funny. So for those, I don't know if any of you out there have ever done this, but I learned about this the first when we did the camping event there with the folks over at Florida Carry. I learned about the Florida Man Challenge. You wanna explain the Florida Man Challenge to folks?
Oh, it's simple. Just type in Florida Man and your birthday and see what comes up. And then you're guaranteed to get something crazy.
You are guaranteed to get either. The thing about Florida Man is this: it's either the coolest stuff or the craziest stuff. There's very little in between when it comes to Florida Man.
Because it used to be Florida Man used to be like the crazy stuff. Now
Right.
Florida Man includes like everyday murders. It's like Florida Man murders 3 for turtle sex or something weird. But let's see. And you're like, we don't need the murder. Let's see. Florida Man. I'm going to put in my birthday here. And let's see what comes up for the challenge. Is a Florida man arrested after punching ATM for giving him too much money. That's my story for Florida Man.
Wow. Okay.
Challenge.
So now I've got to do it.
There you go.
June.
So just put it, folks. Just get your old web browser there and type you're a Florida man. 2 words, Florida man, and then
Here we go.
your birthday.
June 7th.
Not the year, just
Florida
the
man
day.
head butted by alligator.
There you go. Okay. That was after one too many moonshines. He went out to ride the dolphins. That's what happened there.
Good stuff. Good stuff. So there you go. Florida Space Force Base under attack by Florida Man.
Yep. Not
right.
by aliens.
Not by aliens.
dragons.
just
By a man talking about aliens.
just
and
Florida
dragons.
Man. All right. By the way, in case you guys did not know, America is actually, or not America, the world is actually under attack by a new pandemic, and that is the pandemic of monkeypox. It is now, they're trying to make it a national emergency. Now, Mike, they're making it a point now to, contrary to what the mainstream media is telling us, right? Which basically, they're telling us that anybody can get monkeypox. We know that the primary way of, at least we believed that the primary way of spreading monkeypox was through direct physical contact, in particular exchanging of fluids, which basically sex, was the number one way. But there's a way that has exceeded that, and that would be ABC, NBC, CBS, MSNBC, CNN, and in some cases Fox.
That's it.
These are the 6 ways that monkeypox is actually spreading throughout the United States.
Yeah. And it still makes that monkeypox noise, though. E.
I share that because ultimately, here's the thing. If you don't want to get monkeypox, don't have just random sex with people.
That's it.
Just
your
how about
wiener
that?
away.
How about
Yeah,
you
that's
know,
Put your junk away.
put your junk away,
Don't take it out.
and you
Don't
are a
take
lot
it
less
out.
likely to get monkeypox. Just saying.
That's right.
But there's one that's even worse. There's a new disease that's spreading that's even worse.
Worse than the monkeypox?
It is worse than the monkeypox. But I do believe that following the election of 2022, the fall general election, I believe this disease will hopefully go into remission. And it is a new disease. It is not monkeypox. It is actually donkeypox.
Donkeypox.
The disease that is truly killing America. And by the way, it's been around long before monkeypox was. And it's spread like a wildfire. It's in certain parts, mostly urban inner cities is where you will find donkeypox. You know, it will result in high taxes, in high crime, in poor education rates. Anyway, it's killing America. We've got to get inoculated. And the only way to get inoculated from donkeypox is to elect conservatives. Remember, I will tell you, not just Republicans, elect conservatives. That's the way in which you kill the donkeypox.
That's it. Exactly right. All right.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Any more? Or we got any more? Or is that it?
Oh no, that's it for today. Your other one's got.
I know I sent you like 20.
I know you sent 20 and. Okay, some of them got the nicks for racial insensitivity.
Right.
Some of them were how shall we say age inappropriate.
What? It has some vaccine ones. It's some TikTok
That's what we get. That's what we got
references.
today, man.
All right.
Tell you what, why don't you go ahead? Tell you what I'll let you do. I'll let you go ahead and give a shout out to our sponsors. How about that one?
Shout out to our sponsors. All right, let's say hello to our good friends at uscombatgear.com. Then, of course, the California Republican Assembly, Guerrilla Machining, and Grid Defense. Make sure you reach out to all of them and support them, supporting us, supporting you.
Exactly, folks. These are phenomenal organizations. Support them as they support us, supporting you. And with that, we're going to call it a day. We're going to be done for today. We thank you so very much for tuning in. We appreciate you liking and sharing the program and encouraging your friends to do the same. Tomorrow is Thirsty Thursday. We shall see you then.
Yummy, yummy.
Holla.